Hey guys, this is Christina, and I'm back for my Flosstube video number 2. Yay! I think it's been, today is Sunday, September 17th, if I'm right, and that means that it's been about 4 weeks since I uploaded my first video, and it's been a very, very busy 4 weeks. Had a lot of stuff, life stuff going on, and we started our school year just recently. I actually homeschool and we go year round. It just helps with my scheduling and planning, but we take quite a bit off in the summer, and we had took a couple 3 weeks off just recently with my husband taking some vacation and stuff. So we got back in the swing of school, kind of, hit the gate running is what we've done. We've had a lot of stuff we needed to work on to get to where I wanted to be at this point in the year. So I've got a 3-year-old who I guess you would call it preschool, but mainly I just call it keeping her busy, so she lets me do school for the rest of the kids. And then I have a 6-year-old who's in first grade. I've got a 4th grader and now a 6th grader. So I'm trying to prepare all the lessons plans and get ready as far ahead in advance as I can. And I also have been starting in September, we have a homeschool co-op every week, and I teach 5 classes there. And it can be really, really rough. I come home on Fridays completely exhausted and wore out. I teach about 3-4 classes with little kids, like preschooler kids, and there's lots of crafts and lots of running around, and it's exhausting. And then I actually teach a biology lab class. I do dissection, and of course that's older kids. That's for middle grades up through high school grades. And I do another couple of class with 2nd and 3rd graders. So I have to prepare for those during the week, and we're gone all day that day. And so my stitching time has had to take a little bit of a backseat to a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to get everything back on schedule, try to get a little more free time in the evenings and work on my stitching. Another good life update. My sister is in. My sister-in-law. She lives in Brazil. Her and her husband live in Brazil, and she has been in for the past 3 weeks. So we've been spending a lot of our time visiting with her, and she has a new baby who is about 7 months old now, and she's so beautiful. I call her my little Brazilian princess, and so that's really great, because actually I met my husband through my sister-in-law. Me and my sister-in-law were friends before me and my husband ever got married. So I get really excited when she gets to come home. And we've taken up some flooring in our house. That has made a huge mess. It is all done. There's flooring back down. That was pretty crazy. That was a pretty crazy couple of weekends. We did it over a couple of weekends, so we had a mess sitting around in our house forever. And thankfully, that's all taken care of now. But I wanted first to thank everybody who watched my video, for all the likes, and a lot of people subscribed, and for all the comments. I really liked the comments. That was super nice. Everybody leaving a comment. That was so sweet. And it was kind of, people that I watch were leaving comments, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I watch you. But I wanted to say thank you especially to the Kindred Stitcher, Lisa. She commented on my video, and I watched her. And Marlene from Stitching by the Lake, I watch her, and I love Marlene. She reminds me so much of my grandmother. I watch it, and then I'll usually have to call my grandmother and say, hey, I miss you. And to say that she reminds me of my grandmother is a huge compliment, because I think my grandmother's the greatest lady on earth. So, okay, I'm going to show you my whips. I worked on my Little Sheep Virtue style just a little bit. I put in some border, so I'm not going to show it, because it's really just a green border. It's not very exciting. And the Mid-Amish Life, I worked a little bit more on the house. I think I've got the house almost colored in, but again, just very minimal. The thing that I have started working on is my And You Stay piece. And I actually had a page finish on it. And let me actually show you. Let me pull it up here on my iPad. If I can get there. Okay. I'll show you. This is for Modern Folk Embroidery. And I think I'm sitting in a bad spot right. Oh, there we go. So I have just mostly been working on this completely. I have got the first 2 pages completely done. I have worked a little bit on the 3rd, and then I'm skipping around to the 4th. Mostly I have been working on this vertical border over here, and I started wanting to, do something a little different, so I've been going horizontal. Oh, I'm sorry, this is horrible lighting, guys. So I've been starting on the 4th page going horizontal. And let me show you where that's at. So, let's see. And of course, mine is a little bit different than the model that Jacobs had stitched up. This is, I'm doing it with some black, some of the whitest white. I think the gold color is $7.29. The gray is $4.14, I think. So I've got all the way down. I finished this. And it's hard to see on camera because this is like a white on this natural colored linen. But I've made a bunch more. I don't know if you can see it. I've got a bunch more diamonds stitched down through here. So working on the border there. And then, like I said, I decided to start going a little bit horizontal and filling in the border up here on this side. So I'm excited to, get in the middle and start doing the main scene here. And I'm really excited about that. And with that, I'm going to talk about my plans for the upcoming month for the rest of September and October. I know I said that there was no way that I could finish this by Reformation Day, so I was giving it up because if you hadn't watched my last video, I said I was going to try to finish this by Reformation Day, which is October 31st, because my church is having a big Reformation Day celebration this year because it's the 500th anniversary of the Reformation. So I was wanting to finish this and give it as a gift to my church. So I may not have time to get it framed and everything, but I could at least show it to my pastor, and it could be a Reformation Day gift instead of just any old time gift. I wanted it to kind of be special. It's special to me, and I think, it's exciting for my church that it's, we're pretty excited. We're having some big parties, some shindigs, and some different things going on in our town. So, but that is my And You Stay piece, and I'm really enjoy working on it. Some of it can be because where I've had to do like several pages of this border and then this border and this border. It can get a little old, but I think it's looking really nice, and I'm really liking, doing something a little different here. And like I said, I can't wait to do the lamb here in the middle. I'm really excited about that. I'm trying to finish as much of the border as I can and hold out on working on the Lamb of God just because, kind of like giving myself a little treat when I get some border filled in. I'll start the lamb. Let's see. So, okay, well, I guess that's all my whips then. This is going to have to be a short episode unless I start rambling again. I did want to get some shout-outs to some new to me Flosstube. A lot of these aren't exactly new. But when I uploaded my last video, something really cool happened. A lot of my recommended videos changed a lot. I got a lot more recommendations. Because I'd always type in just Flosstube #1, trying to find some new people. And, of course, I looked up, when somebody else would give a shout-out, I would look people up. But I found these people just after I uploaded my video and just started getting some different suggestions. And Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, she has a lot of beautiful pieces. She's working on some chatelaines, some haids. She also quilts and crochets, and she shows some of her other work. She's actually commented on her last video. She is stitching humongous, beautiful pieces, and she's giving them away. So I told her, you are so much nicer than me. I don't know if I could stitch the big ones and just give them away. Well, I am stitching 2 that I'm giving away. So, but it was like everything she picked up and said she was stitching. She was like, and this is for my sister, and this is for my parents, and this. I was like, wow, you are a very, very nice person. And then Nicole from On Hooks and Needles, and she crochets and knits and cross stitches, and she has a lot of really beautiful projects. Excuse me, in all of her different crafts, and then I found a new one. Somebody posted this on Stitch Mania, and her channel, she has several videos. I think she's like on video upper 30s. So she's Mary Rose from Stitch Bliss Corner, and her last video, she actually did a video about Marilyn Levitt Emblem, who is the designer who did Told in a Garden and Lavender and Lace. And she just did she showed a lot of her patterns, did a little kind of a biopic on her life. It was very, very interesting. And I saw she's got one for Martina Rosenberg. And she just has a lot of really interesting videos. I've only watched a couple so far, but I hope to watch some more maybe this weekend. Let's see. I have a little bit of stash. I told you guys that I very rarely bought stash until I was ready to kit up a project, that I didn't usually buy patterns, and I broke my own rule just a little bit. I'm going to show you my thing I'm most excited about first. I have bought my first Haid, and of course, there was a sale, and I couldn't resist. There was one I had been thinking about, and she put it half off, so I thought, well, what are you going to do? And it's this one. It's called the Mini, I'm trying to see where I need to put it. The Mini Magic of Books. Yeah, let me put it right there. And I just think it's beautiful. You see there's some little butterflies coming out of her books up here, and a dragon coming up down there while she's, sitting by candlelight reading. I think that is so beautiful. This is my childhood. This is an avid reader. Even more so when I was a kid. I read constantly, and I love fantasy type books or just anything. So I saw this and I was like, this is going to have to be my first attempt. I got the mini because I'm a little bit scared. I hope I don't lose too much detail by doing the mini instead of the full size one, but I've never done a full coverage. I actually always said that I probably wasn't going to do a Haid, that I wasn't that into that, and well, I lied, because now I've got a couple that I want to get. First, I'm going to try this one. Then I have if this one goes well, I may try to kit up another one that my daughter was wanting. So that was my first little bit of stash. And of course, I went to Walmart like everybody else to get some of the 10-cent DMC, and I got about $2 worth, which is good. But it's actually really sad. I do not live close to any other stitching stores. I don't have an LNS. I think the closest one is like 3.5 hours away. Hobby Lobby's an hour away. So the fact that they're discontinuing and clearing out a bunch of their flosses and making their stitching stuff smaller really stinks, because, most colors I could go there and find. There were times I couldn't, but we did have a pretty big section. And it's going away, so I went to get some bobbins the other day to bobbinate some floss, and they had got rid of their plastic bobbins, and they only had cardboard. And I didn't want cardboard, but I didn't want to pay for shipping for 1, 2, 3 Stitch to ship me some, and I'm not going to the Hobby Lobby for quite a while. So, oh well. But while I was looking at the floss, I found this embroidery kit. I saw a lot of other floss tubers, and this was like a $8, $9, $10 kit, and I had never tried this before. I was interested in it, but I didn't want to pay $8 or $9 for it, and they had it marked down to $2. So I'm pretty excited about it. And if you've never seen it before, it's almost like a coloring book page that you color with thread. You use whatever stitches you want, whatever colors you want, and you just fill in the fabric. So I may give that a try sometime. I got 2 charts off the Stash Unload. Sometimes stuff comes up there and I just think, oh, that's kind of me. This one is called The Garden Cottage by Cross My Heart. And that's what it is. It's just a little cottage sitting back in a garden. This might be my retirement dream for someday. I'm not sure. This looks like an English garden, an English little thatch cottage. So I'm probably not going to move across the pond. I'll probably stay put in my little cabin here in the country. And this other one is also another cottage pattern, and it's by Marty Bell, and it's called Sweetheart Thatch. And it's just like the front door and the windows. I just thought it was really cute. I'm not sure when I'll get around to stitching these because I have other stuff in my queue ahead of these, but I thought these were really pretty, and I didn't want to, they were just a couple of bucks, and I didn't want to let them get out of my reach. So, and then I did buy another piece. I found a very good deal on a piece of fabric on Stash and Load. This is my first time with Joblin. This is Joblin Even Weave, and the only even weave I have used is on my Mid-Amish Life piece, but this is just plain white. I heard it mentioned in another video that you should probably try to stitch Mirabilias on even weave more so than linen. I'm not sure because I have never stitched one, but I have my first one to stitch, and I've got this one right when I first started cross stitching. I fell in love with a stupid discontinued Mirabilia pattern. It's like, you can't like the ones that are already out that are, $12. You have to go find the one that you want. Has to be discontinued. But this is Mother's Arms. I think, is that the name of it? Mother's Arms, My Mother's Arms, just Mother's Arms. And it's just a mother holding a baby. And the fabric's white. I had thought about dyeing it, but all this here is stitched. I mean, it's almost a full coverage piece. So I'm not even sure if I'll worry about trying to dye it another color. So I have everything for this sitting in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart. I look at it occasionally. When I have a bad day, I think about hitting the purchase button, but so far I haven't. And I was actually telling myself, if I get this And You Stay pattern done, this is going to be my reward. I'm going to kit this one up. And who knows, if I'm really proud of myself, I may kit my Hate up too. So we'll see if I get it done. So I would be really excited. Now, let's see. Do I have anything else cross-stitching to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. But like I said, I want to thank everybody who watched, everybody who subscribed, everybody who liked, everybody who listened to me ramble the last time. Last time I mentioned that I did some other hobbies, knitting, crochet, tatting, and since my video is so short today, I'm going to here at the end, I was wanting to show you some of my projects that I'm working on. So if you just come for the cross stitching, hopefully you come back next time and I'll see you. And if you want to stick around, I'll show you some of my knitting projects. The first one that I'm going to show, I really wanted this sweater, and I was really excited about it. And I just happened, when I was at the Hobby Lobby here a couple of months ago, I found a perfect yarn that wasn't too expensive. Usually, me making a sweater, I'm a big girl, so I take several skeins of yarn. And to kit up a sweater can get way over $100 easy. So I found some acrylic that I actually fell in love with. And the best thing about the acrylic is that it's anti-peeling. I hate it when my sweaters get the little fuzz balls. I can't stand to work so hard on my knitting, and the next thing you know, it's getting all fuzzy. So I try to, even when I get wool, I try to use a little bit tougher wools. I don't use a lot of merino, even though it's soft, because it peels easier. It's not as tough. But I'm working on this sweater, and the yarn, actually, somebody might be interested because this was a super good deal. This was $4 for 208 yards. So it's Yarn Bee from the Hobby Lobby. I think that's just at the Hobby Lobby. It's soft and sleek. And it says low peel fiber. It's very, very soft. And it's working up really well. I've tried it on a few times just to see where I was at. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row, so I can't show it really great. Let's see here. This is my sweater. It's called the Postgrad by Alicia Plummer. And here I've divided for my sleeves. It's just a top-down raglan cardigan. So after I get the body done, I'm doing some increases down. It'll have some set-in pockets. I've never done set-in pockets before, but I'm going to figure it out. It's just in stockinette stitch right now. It'll have a big shawl collar when it's done. And this yarn is not showing up too great on here. But I guess that's pretty good. It's like a purple and gray, different shades of purple and different shades of gray. So I'm really excited to be working on that. It's a project that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'll show a picture of it, what it's going to look like, hopefully when it's done. There we go. And I'm sure that when I get done knitting this, it'll turn me into this size 4 model right here, and I'll look exactly like this lady in the picture, because that's the magic of knitting. Actually, I think it'll be nice and cozy. I'm doing it kind of big, and I'm going to get it down all the way past my hips a little bit. Be kind of a cover up on a cold day. Let me shove that back in my bag. Oh, actually, I had a finished knitting object I wanted to show. My daughter had got this out to wear to church this morning. And I did finish this about a month ago. But it was out, and I wanted to show it because it's very pretty. It's called Nurmalintu. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I did it with Cascade Heritage sock yarns. Maybe it's Cascade Paints. I'm not sure. This is fingering weight. And I really like it. It's not exactly a triangle. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this shape. It's really cute. My daughter wraps it around her shoulders, and I thought she looked beautiful in it this morning. And I really, really like the color. She actually picked the yarn that she wanted. She went through my stash and picked this. So I think that was the last finish I had. I've not finished anything in a while. The next thing I'm doing, knitting-wise, is I'm making a shawl. It's called a hat, which is like the traditional kind of shawl from like the Shetland Islands. They're really, really large shawls. So I'm spinning for it. And my main color is going to be this gray. This is Gotland wool. And I really like it. It's a coarser wool. It's not really soft, but I'm wanting this hat to kind of be like a rustic looking hat. So I've got this gray here, and I spun up 16 ounces of this because I'm making it, this is about a fingering weight. It's a pretty big shawl, like I said, and it's mostly it'll be done in this gray, and then it has, I think, 3 or 4 contrasting colors on it. And the only one so far that I have spun up is this Falkland here. This is Falkland. It's another coarser wool, and it's just, bare white. And I'm going to mix that in with it. And then I have, I've got another couple of colors that I'm going to use because I think I need 3 contrasting colors. So this would be 1 contrasting color. I have this black, and I can't remember what kind of fiber the black is. I know that it is not merino. It's not soft enough to be merino, which is good because, like I said, this is going to be a rustic hat. So I'm going to put that color, and I have some, it's called Into the World, the fiber company that dyes this, and this is BFL, which is Blue Face Leicester. It's a little, it's not very coarse, but it's definitely not as soft. It's not as fragile and delicate as merino. So this is called Intrepidity. I think this is going to be the other color. I'm excited to see how I'm going to spin this up. See how I've got a few more. I've got 2 bobbins of this that I'm plying right now. I'm hoping to finish it today, and I'm going to go into my shawl. So let's see. So I'm going to try spinning. Spinning is probably going to be the only other hobby I work on right now while I'm trying to get so much of my And You Stay pattern done, because I would really like to start this hat also. So that's all my knitting, and then I have a crochet project that I'm working on. I actually have 2, but I don't think I brought the other one over here. I am going to do a Christmas blanket. Let me find it here. It's a free red heart pattern. And here we go. There we go. It's just called the Peppermint Swirl Throw. Let me find a good picture right here. I'm sorry, y'all, for all the glare off of my iPad. I have to figure out where it goes. But it just looks, the white's not showing up very good. It just looks like little peppermint candies. Oh, come on. Okay, let me throw it over here. Let's see what that does. My husband told me I had to get a good camera, and I tried to use his today, and I couldn't figure it out. So Well, that white isn't showing up at all, is it? Well, I'll put the link below, but anyway, there's it a little bit. It's, it just looks like peppermint swirls, all going in the same direction. It swirls around, and I'm having to make 42 of these large circles, and this is just, I think I have to add another 2 rounds to these after I finish all 42, because they're each finished, the end of them is finished in a little bit different way. So I'm making 42 of these. I have 10. I'd really like to get the blanket done by this Christmas, but I started it last Christmas, but it was really close to Christmas, and I knew I wouldn't finish it. And then it's not Christmas, so I don't feel like working on it, but I really need to start getting it out. So that's my next project. I have to make 42 of these big squares, and I think I have to make like 20 of some smaller squares that go in the middle. So that, and I'm just making this out of acrylic, Karen Simply Soft. So I'm hoping I can get that done by Christmas. I guess we will see. My last project is actually a tatting project. I told you guys I tatted last time. And if you guys watch Arlene Cohen, you've seen she actually tats them too. She also does the beautiful bobbin lace. But I have been working on some tatted lace. I'm making a little coaster, and it's got 3 rounds, and I finished the first 2 rounds. And this is it. Let me hold it up here. Maybe you can see it better. Oh, there we go. This is the first 2 rounds. I've got 1 more round to go on it, and it's just going to be a coaster. The main reason I'm making this is to practice for a big dolly that I'm wanting to make, and I was a little scared because I'd never made anything in rounds and then attaching the next round to it and the next round. So I found this little pattern, and I'm using some variegated thread, and that is my tatted lace project. I think I try to keep a project going on all my different crafts that I like. So if I get tired of something, I'll just move on to the next thing. So now I think that is all my projects that I have, both, you know, knitting, cross stitch wise. So I thank you guys for coming back and joining me again. Probably at the end of this month, so maybe in 2-3 weeks again. Hopefully I can come back and give you an update on my And You Stay pattern. Maybe you guys can cheer me on to finish. That's why I decided I was going to state my goal on Flosstube so that I'll come back and I'll know that you guys are waiting, waiting on me to finish, and maybe it would help me a little bit to get to, you know, light the fire under my booty. And I would just like to have a finish. I've not really had a finish all year because I've been working on these big projects. And it would be really nice to get at least one thing done. And then I could probably start something else by Christmas. If I have this done by the end of October, I could order me a couple of new Christmas presents, I guess is what I'm saying. So hopefully come back next week and I'll have a whole, well, not next week. No, I won't have a bunch of it done by next week. But hopefully, guys, come back in a couple or 3 weeks. I'm hoping that by the end of this month, I can finish the 2 pages I'm working on. And then I think there will be, see, that's 4. I think there will be 3 or 4 pages left after that, but they're not huge. It's not a full coverage piece or anything. So I definitely think it's doable. I think I will have to keep my nose to the grindstone, though, and get it done. If I start hating it too much, though, I will stop. I'm not gonna do so much that I end up hating my hobby. But I really do. I love this piece. I want to get it finished. I want to get it finished by my deadline. Thankfully, I haven't told anybody at church about it. So if I don't get it finished, it's no big deal. But maybe we'll see. So anyway, thank you guys for watching my video. If you want to hit like, if you want to subscribe. I'm also Christina Luhu D on Instagram if you want to follow me there. I post a lot of stitching stuff there. It's mostly just for stitching. A lot of you guys found me last week, and I really like that. I like seeing everybody's pictures, and I like to share mine. It kind of keeps me accountable. So thank you guys for watching. This is kind of a short video, like I said. And next month, I may have another a shorter video. I plan to do the needleworker tag next month just because I know my video will be kind of short. But I hope you guys come back and see what I've done next month. Hopefully it'll be a little bit. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.